Hey everybody, are you selling your home and you don't know how to choose an agent? Stay tuned to find out the right questions to ask when interviewing potential partners. Welcome to the Realty, my weekly segment where I spill the tea on all things real estate. And today I'm here with Kate Oesch from Keller Chervenic, and we're going to be covering a seller beware segment. We're going to be highlighting the importance of when it comes to your agent search. So hi Kate, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Hello.
How are you doing today? Good?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good. No, thanks. Thank you so much for being on the show. I know that this is something really important that we need to shed light on, just because, obviously right now there is definitely no shortage of real estate agents in the area. With the rise of the pandemic, I think especially also with the flexibility of being a real estate agent, a lot of people are moving to this profession, from what I've been hearing from other guests on the show. So it is important to arm the potential sellers to know how to choose, and buyers, how to choose an agent and what are some ways that they can go about doing that. So.
Yep, I would agree. We do have a lot of new agents. Actually, that happens when the market is up and things are moving. A lot of new people come into an industry, and very few of them actually stay around for a long time, but we do have a lot of new agents.
Yes. And, before obviously I'm going to kick off the show completely, I want to give a shout out to Ellie Platt at Platt Insurance. She is the sponsor of the Realty, and for all of your insurance needs, whether that be personal, commercial, life, or financial, Platt Insurance has you covered. So. And then also, as everyone here knows, I always like to start with my icebreakers. So, Kate, I'm going to ask you a couple icebreaker questions just to, get started. Out of, the whole, Mahoning Valley area, Shenango Valley area, what are some of your favorite local restaurants? Or if you have one in particular that is your absolute favorite?
Okay. So my go-tos are Inner Circle, usually in Canfield, because that's closer to where I live. I love the Poorhouse.
The Poorhouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had to pick one more, maybe a Stonebridge.
Stonebridge. Oh, Stonebridge is so good.
That's a go-to. And they have a little patio out there, and I think a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I've been there a couple times over the last couple years, and I had just recently went with my colleague for lunch the one day, and I didn't know that there was a patio out there. I think Pat Bergen last week told us that. So yeah, didn't know that.
Yep, I've seen him there before.
Yep. Do you have any pets?
We do. We have a red-bone coonhound, and his name is Red. He's about 85 pounds.
Wow.
And he's a lover.
Oh, that's cute. Well, I have a couple pets of my own. I think I mentioned them before. I have 2 dogs and a cat. So not a big cat person, but I didn't bring it home. So. But,
I have 3 teenagers. Sometimes they're like animals.
Yeah, you can just lump them in the same categories.
Yeah. Lots of cleanup.
Yeah. But okay, so to kick off the show, I know that we want to arm our audience with a lot of the tools that they need to go about finding the right real estate agent. So what are some of the right questions to ask the agent, and or what are some of the first steps that someone can go about finding the right agent?
Well, a lot of agents work business from repeat and referrals.
Okay.
So asking friends and family about their experience with a specific real estate agent is super helpful. Some people will do referrals just based on agency, but the public needs to understand that every agent is an independent contractor. So no matter what agency or umbrella we're working under, whether that's Keller Williams or Howard Hanna or some of the other local brokerages, we're all independent. So a referral to say that I worked with a Keller Williams agent and they were amazing, they need to ask who the agent was specifically, because that's who you're going to be working with directly. So definitely ask some friends and family about that. If they don't have any referrals for you, then I would call 1 or 2 agencies, or 2 or 3 agencies, and ask for some agent referrals, maybe even from an office manager.
Okay.
Or online. If they don't have Zillow reviews or Realtor.com reviews, that might be a red flag that they don't have many transactions or people aren't giving them testimonials online.
Okay. Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that, going to Zillow or Realtor.com.
Yeah, they've kind of foolproofed those. That you used to be able to type in your own data And
Wow.
the
Okay.
public probably really doesn't even understand or know, and they should, that Zillow and Realtor now have perfected their referral. So I cannot upload my own referral. It has to come directly from the client. We email them a link and ask them to tell us about their experience. So when you see 5 stars and reviews online, those are real.
Okay, that's good to know. Because even from my impression, I would always thought that Zillow and Realtor.com and all of those different sites were kind of like a Wikipedia a little bit, where like a lot of the information might be factual, but then some of it may not be, and it's hard to know. But so that is a good key tip for people to know
A
that.
lot of the information is not accurate when it comes to the actual real estate.
Okay.
But when it comes to the agents, those referrals, and just the description of who the agent is, that is accurate.
Okay. All right. Good to decipher that. So
Yeah. So get some referrals.
yes. Also, like obviously, you can go online. You could research. You could obviously, if you're driving around and you see signs in the front yard, that would be a good indicator. Maybe if you see that the sales cycle was fast on that specific house.
I would agree.
Yes. What about open houses? Would you recommend that for finding a real estate agent?
Probably not. Your
No?
best
Okay.
route. Yeah. A lot of open house agents are brand new agents, and they're doing what they're supposed to do to get business and get their name out there, but they might not be an experienced agent.
Okay.
It would be a good way to see someone face to face. But once you get with a face to face agent, no matter how you get to them, it's probably the follow up questions that are going to be the most important. For example, you might want to ask them, how many homes have they sold in the last 12 months?
Okay.
You'll get some kind of idea of what their business is. Do you know that according to the National Association of Realtors, the average real estate agent sells just 12 homes a year, one a month? That's
Wow.
not really, generally speaking, enough experience to have amazing negotiation skills, to have run into enough problems to know how to solve all of them yet.
Okay.
But unfortunately, that's our industry.
Yes, all negotiation and obviously experience definitely helps tremendously when you're in this career. But if you do happen to partner with an agent that is maybe new to this industry or anything like that, do you have any tips for the buyer or seller?
I do. I'm so glad you're asking that. Because everyone starts somewhere, and we were all new at one point. Not
Yeah.
that they shouldn't have an opportunity to come into the business. They should. It just should be done the right way. No one wants to wing any brand new job on their own, right?
Just
So
like how we just like how we wing the Realty, but
yeah, no, we do know what we're doing. We're just winging, talking about it, I
yeah,
suppose. Yeah.
yeah,
If an agent, if a seller is interviewing an agent and they are new, they should ask what kind of support system they have. They have the right to ask for an experienced agent to be on the listing with them. We can co-list and help new agents. A lot of real estate companies have good mentoring programs. And so the new agent might say, I have an amazing mentor. She's been in the business for 15 years, and I can't do anything without her help or his help. So as long as the seller knows that there's someone else, not just an office manager, another experienced agent that's helping on their file, everyone deserves a chance. And those mentoring programs in some of the companies are good, but not all companies have mentoring programs. There are a lot of agents that are on their own.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I just know, like personally, like I said, my mom was a real estate agent. She had a good mentor. So, did you have a mentor when you started?
I sure did.
You sure
Yeah.
did.
I had a mentor at a couple agencies. I also helped to run the mentoring department in Ohio for my previous agency.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I actually love mentoring. Every new agent should have a mentor for at least the first 3 or 4 transactions.
Yeah.
But school doesn't really tell you how to do your job. Just
Oh, yeah,
get your
100%.
license like any other career.
Yeah, any other career, for sure. Obviously, they give you the skills that you may need and like the information, but it's really, when you're out in the field and doing actual work is where you learn the most. And I could speak for that. So for sure.
Yeah, they give you all the terminology, but not really the how-to
Yes,
sell
yes,
house.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I know that you talked about how, obviously being a real estate agent requires a lot of negotiation and a lot of, back and forth with the other agent. Can you give some examples or some scenarios for like negotiating tactics?
I think that when your real estate agent is negotiating, a red flag could be when you're deciding what the listing commission is.
Okay.
If you ask your agent to reduce their commission and your agent automatically says, yeah, okay, I'll do it for whatever. I think
Okay.
that's a big red flag that when it comes down to negotiation on your behalf, the seller, how fast is that agent just going to give away your money? Are
Yeah.
they desperate to make a closing because they need money? Or are they really going to negotiate on your behalf to get you the highest dollar? And
Yeah.
so that comes from a lot of agents that come from a position of strength. When you have several deals in the pipeline and you're working with several clients and one falls through, it's it's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. There are some agents that are very desperate that will just give away anything just to
Mhm.
get a deal closed. And that's not going to be in the seller's best interest. And there's so many little things throughout a transaction that can kind of all add up. You know, did you negotiate a home warranty in at the beginning of the contract? Did you say that you would pay for XYZ up front and then also get hit with now you have to pay for additional things after home inspection? Did your agent run the appropriate title search at the beginning? Do you know that you need a PIN survey? What's going to be required? You know, if there are things that are going to come up and you're going to have to spend a little bit of extra money to sell your house, for
Mhm.
example, if you need a new survey, it's costly and it takes a long time nowadays. You're going to want to know that you need that up front. You don't want to find that out 2 weeks before closing because you've already negotiated a price,
Yes. Yes.
right? So those are all very important things, and a lot of sellers don't understand we can tell you what's going to happen down the road, right? We've
Mhm.
been there, done that. I sold 80 houses last year. If it's going to happen, I can probably tell you that it's going to
Yeah.
happen,
Yeah.
right? So I can tell you what to look out for. If you
Yeah.
don't have that experience or an agent involved with that experience, you're kind of winging it.
Yes. Yeah. And that also goes back and speaks to the mentoring program.
Yep.
And just, making sure that, you're making the right decision when you choose your agent. And, before I go on to my next point, I also want to thank Ellie Platt again at Platt Insurance for all of your insurance needs, whether it be personal, commercial, life, or financial. Ellie Platt has you covered. So thanks for sponsoring the Realty. Maybe the newest agent might not be the most experienced agent, but could you also speak to the fact that because maybe they're new, they might not have as many deals in the pipeline, that they would spend a significant amount of time um, for the client and like assessing the client's needs?
Um, I guess that you would get 100% of their attention
Yeah,
potentially, but if they don't really know 100% of what they're doing, doesn't really matter.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Very, very true. And it's good that we are highlighting all of that and, making our audience aware of all of that. But is there anything else that you would suggest to our audience when choosing a real estate agent?
I generally speaking, I don't know, to go with your gut. Try and ask some good questions. It is also a little bit of a matchmaking opportunity. You're going to want to find someone that you click with and that you're on the same page with. So there is some personality, matches that do matter. You know, just at first meeting, you really kind of know within a couple of seconds whether you click with someone or not. And it is a working relationship that's going to go on for a minimum of, I would say, 40 days to a maximum of a few months. Those relationships matter. You're going to want to talk to that person
Yeah,
and be in communication. So you have to like them,
yeah,
honestly. And most in our just human nature, you have to like someone before you'll trust someone. So go with your gut.
yeah. No, great advice. Great advice. And also, obviously, a lot of potential buyers and sellers are, doing their research. So it also is important for real estate agents to make a good first impression.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you screw up that first impression, or let's say you don't follow up timely in a timely manner, that also can show how that agent will interact with you throughout the entire transaction.
It is a good indicator,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I think that that's pretty much what I had for today. Do you have anything else you want to touch on, Kate, before we end
Yeah,
the
real quick, since we're talking about sellers and reviewing things, after they've chosen their real estate agent, we're seeing a lot of multiple offers in the market today. I know you guys have talked about this before. And sellers should ask a lot of questions, especially when they're reviewing multiple offers, and find out not just the type of financing, but time frames. So if you're a seller and you have a purchase contract and it's anything but cash, and the buyer's going to close in 30 days, if that's how you're making your decision to accept an offer versus another offer, maybe one says they'll close in 45 days and one says they'll close in 30. Okay. In this market today, there's no guarantee that that 30 days that it's going to close. It's a target date, and it's very likely that the 30-day closes in 40 or 45, and you're at the same place anyway. So try not to make their decision based on timing, but put it all together with terms and inspections and closing costs and everything together. That timing is so it's really not a good gauge at the moment. Appraisers are overwhelmed, lenders are overwhelmed, and things are just taking a little bit longer.
Yes. It
has to do a lot with additional refinances, and it also has to do a little bit with COVID. So be patient.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's really good insights. Especially like you said, everyone's so busy, and it is a seller's market. A lot of people still don't know that, but it is a seller's market. So, all of those different people are going to be so busy, and you're, dealing with so many different
appraisers, title companies, the county. We've still got a lot of people working remote. And so our county officials and recording departments aren't moving as quickly as they did. And title companies, appraisers, and lenders are also overwhelmed with refinances. Doesn't affect my business as much other than the timing, right? But think of how many people, if anyone has an interest rate that's less than 4%, they're probably refinancing right now. And so it kind of clogs up the pipeline for everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get through it.
Well, that's a great tip. And thank you so much, Kate. You gave us so much information and so much insight, and it was really great having you on the show today. So
thanks for having me. That was fun.
Thank you. This was great. And for everyone else watching the Realty, the Business Journal, we are publishing a commercial real estate feature in our upcoming October edition. So make sure to go check that out. And one last thank you to Ellie Platt at Platt Insurance. So bye, everyone. Thanks for being on the show today, Kate.
Bye.